Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem El Shai Bashem Rakak Wadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video. I had a couple of titles in my head. So the initial title is 7 women shall take hold of one man. And that includes other nations' women. Now look at this picture. Now this is a video. They want a black man. What's wrong with that? You got to watch this whole video, and it's all, I'm not going to jump to the different scenes, but it's all Jake with these. This is right here is 11 minutes and 20, almost 11 minutes and 30 sec, 11 minutes and 30 seconds in. See the Jake, when you see these, telling me that these Edomite women are, they look at them, look at them. Ain't nobody want the black woman no more. Ain't nobody want the black woman. She's out of her damn mind, man. They're degenerates for the most part, not all of them. But right here it says Andy Evelyn interviewed black men are better lovers in porn. So that's an interview right there. And this is a big trend. It's catching on. Got Chinese girl love black man and want to give him 5 kids. You know, the scripture that comes to mind, well, the first scripture is Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1 on down, and it's talking about it's going to begin on this side and it's going to finish on the other side. So we're not just going to have wives of the Israelites. We're going to have women concubines of the other nations too, and we're going to have children with them. Let me do something. I'm going to do a little cheat sheet thing. I didn't know I was going to go to this scripture. And this is an indication that you lost your kingdom. When your woman goes with the enemy, you done lost your kingdom. This is the first. When your woman is with the enemy, you done lost your kingdom. That's one step closer to the downfall of Esau's kingdom. And what did I should say? Leave your girl at home, which is adultery. But okay, let me see. Where was I gonna go? Give me a second. Let me do this. Do it this way. I'm cheating a little bit. Israelite men who had children with concubines. Let's see, how many children did Jacob have with his concubines? Concubines is a woman of another nation. Now, we're not supposed to marry them in a traditional sense. Concubines is a lower, it's the word wife in the scriptures. That's why you got to go into the Hebrew and the Greek, get a better understanding of the scriptures. The word wife translates in the Hebrew ayasha. Ayasha. It's a feminine form of saying man. Hebrew word for man is ayash. Let me do this. All right, what does Judges 8:31? Let me pull out some of these precepts here. Judges 8. Okay, let me go to the precepts. And by the way, I don't know if y'all saw the rest of Leave the World Behind. I'm almost at the end of it. I got to the part where the Jake is dancing with Julia Roberts, and she's an Edomite, for sure. She's definitely an Edomite. Like I said, I can tell you if you're an Israelite based upon the way you dance. The brother in the movie, he dances like a Jake. You know, he dances just like moving like a Jake. You know, he wasn't a Hamite. If you thought, well, maybe he's a Hamite, nah, he's a Jake. You know, he wasn't doing too much moving, but he moved enough where you can see he's a Jake. He wasn't no tear. Now Julia Roberts, she was trying to get into it, and I was even rooting for her. I said, well, come on, Julia. I thought you was an Israelite. Julia Roberts is an Edomite. Maybe she's a Moabite, or she ain't an Israelite. Let's just put it to you that way. Okay, so let's bring this up. Okay, I'm gonna read this precept right here, and excuse me. Excuse me. Now you got this one particular camp. I'm not going to mention any names. Anyway, that says you not only you can't deal with a woman of another nation, you can only have one Israelite woman. And if you have more than one, it's adultery. Even if the second woman never dealt with a man. I don't want to mention the camp's name because I don't want to get in trouble. Anyway, Judges 8 verse 31. And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son whose name he called Abimelech. Now this doesn't make Abimelech a half-breed. This makes him an Israelite. You are who you are based upon your father, not based upon your mother. Now you might have the features, the phenotype of your mother, but your spirit is the spirit of the Israelite. This is Gideon, right? It said, and Gideon had 70 sons, 670 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. Let me look up the word concubine. Let me look up the word wife or wives. And then I'm going to look up the word concubine. So did the Most High get mad at him and said, well, he with all the works, the great works that Gideon did, he at the end he was wicked because he married a woman of another nation? No. Moses, the man of the Most High, that Professor Erwin Corey, a comedian back in the day, if you saw the movie Car Wash, the guy that had the trench coat on had a pee in his bottle to give to the doctor, but they thought it was a bomb. That's Professor Erwin Corey. He's an Edomite that looked like a professor, and he used to do. He was a comedian. Like I said, he was a stand-up comedian, but he came on that professor's tip, and he did a joke. When I was young. He said he spoke about Moses, and he said that Moses, the black Jew. I remember him saying that, and that's long before I came into the truth. I remember what's this guy? Bill, what's his name? Billy Graham. Billy Graham, the great evangelist. I remember as a child him speaking about so-called Jesus, and he said, I personally believe that Jesus was a black man. I only heard that one time. The news didn't get up on it. So, yeah, you got it. You got Edomite saying that, calling great characters of the scriptures black men. And you can't, don't try to find it, Erwin Corey. Don't try to find it, because you ain't going to find it. The comedian Robin Williams was on Saturday Night Live, and he said, he said, all you white people got it wrong. I'm merely paraphrasing. He said, God is not white. He's a big, black, mean black man. And I think he said he's coming to kill white people or something like that. And they laughed at it like it was a joke. It wasn't a joke. He was telling the truth. Anyway, I want to go to the word. The word wife is Asha. It's not Asha. It's Ayasha. They got it wrong. See, you got the yum meaning wives, but it's from the root word. It's supposed to be Ayasha. Ayasha. And you know how you know that? I'm going to show you that they're going off. The blue letter goes off every once in a while. Sometimes they're on point and sometimes they're not. Okay, that's the root word. The root word is Ayash, which is man. So how do you make man in the feminine? How do you make man, Ayash, into woman? You add a suffix ha at the end of the Hebrew, which makes it feminine. If you say, let me see. If you say, I'm thinking of a word to make it feminine. Okay. Dunya Allah. If it's in a feminine form, it would be Dunya Allah. Trying to think of a better example in the Hebrew. Oh, Yalad is boy in the Hebrew, and Yalada is girl. So Yalada is the feminine. It's the feminine man in a feminine sense, which means that's a woman, a girl. Dabar is speak. Dabara would be speak in a feminine sense. So you get the picture. Now the word ayash or ayasha is woman in the feminine, right? Feminine. Let me click on ayash. Ayash is the masculine for man. It means man. To make it woman, you say ayasha. See the ya? So initially, let's come on back. This is wrong. It's supposed to be a ya right here to make it woman. And how do we know? Because we go to the root, the etymon of the word. The lowest common denominator, so to speak. So now let's look up the word concubine. And his concubine, let's click on that. is Payal, Payal, Payala Gash, Payala Gash. Concubine, paramour, concubine, paramour. And it's written in the scriptures 37 times. Concubine was a woman. You married an Israelite woman, she became your wife. You deal with a concubine woman, a woman of another nation. She's your wife or your woman, but a lower status than an Israelite woman. So in the kingdom, are we going to have other wives? Why not? We're not breaking no law. As long as you don't marry them, you just deal with them. Look at that. And his concubine played the whore. I'm not going to go, that's a whole story. Oh, behold, this is the man that was protecting this man that said, behold, you got to click on it and read the whole story. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, meaning down the word maiden means a virgin. The word should be Batwala. And his concubine, them I will bring out now, and humble ye them. Humble my daughters, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do not so vilely thing. Because the Benjaminites wanted to rape this man, because Benjamin sunk low on a moral level. And that's why they were almost destroyed. There was only, 400 left. And they had to build back the tribe of Benjamin. That's why in the scriptures it says little Benjamin, because little Benjamin got wiped out. All the women got wiped out. All the men got wiped out, except for 400. All the children got wiped out. All the pregnant women got wiped out. And so the Benjamite men had to get with women outside of the tribe of Benjamin women, because there were no more Benjamin women. That goes back to the man is the prize. The woman's not the prize. The man is the prize. So let me just open this up. No, you know what? 25th verse. But the men would not hearken to him. So the men took his concubine and brought her forth unto them, and they knew her, meaning they had pulled a train on her, and abused her all the night until morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. She died. And this was what the brother chopped her into 12 pieces and gave it to the tribe and said, judge on this. That's when they went to the Lord. The Lord said, go to the war with Benjamin. And Benjamin was almost annihilated. Let me look up the word concubine. So don't let a knucklehead Israelite, a fake Israelite, tell you, oh, you can't deal with women of the other nations. It's all throughout the Old Testament. The Most High never condemned. The Most High never told anybody to not deal with another nation's women. The Most High said, don't marry them. Don't put them on that higher standard. That's just a woman that you got on the side, a side chick, so you can understand. Where was I looking at? Oh, another word I wanted to bring out. Let me see. Bear with me for a minute. There's another word I want to bring out. Okay, humble. Humble. Let's see what the word humble is. So this man that, honored the man that was in his house said, "You're going to rape somebody, rape my daughter." Lot said that. Just Lot. Lot came back as an Israelite. So let me see here. Let me click on this. See the word humble. It says, "Behold, there is my daughter, a maiden." The word there is Bathwala, a virgin, a woman that has never been touched, and his concubine, the man's concubine. Them I will bring out now and humble. Now check this out. Humble. What do you think the word humble means? Humble ye them. The woman. The word there is Ainah. So look up the word Ainah. It'll take you back to Deuteronomy 22. What is that? 28. The word is you have humbled her, meaning you have taken her by force. You raped her. So this is what this man's saying. Go ahead and rape my daughter, which is a virgin. You can have her. But they was like, no, we want the man. Matter of fact, let me come back. So Benjamin was... Jake is wicked, man. Jake is super wicked. Let me come back. What the hell did I just do? Okay. Let me come up a couple of verses. Okay, and the old man said, "Peace be with thee. Howsoever let all thy wants lie upon me, only lodge not in the street." So he brought him into his house and gave him provender, fed him, took care of him, was a host, unto the asses, and they washed their feet, meaning made him at home. The old saying, make yourself at home, and did eat and drink. Now, as they were making their hearts merry, because they were drinking, they were getting buzzed, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, beset, and it was the tribe of Benjamin, beset the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, "Bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him, that we want to have sex with him." Let me do this. Let me do this. Let's see what the bear with me for a minute. Sons of Belial means sons of worthlessness. You're worthless. Just like you got these crazy Jakes robbing, stealing, hugging, and mugging, hidden stores. They're sons of Belial, sons of the devil. So it means, loosely translated, it means sons of worthlessness. The hell? Give me a second. me see if Benjamin comes up. But as you read it, it was the sons of Benjamin. Because it was the sons of Benjamin that, matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Okay, I saw the word. Beset the house to know him. Deliberately confirmed. Of the immorality of Sodomites. So it was Benjamin that became Sodomites. See, I know this story. I'm just doing this just in case somebody rolled up and said, well, you just made it up. You added Benjamin in there. But it was talking about Benjamin. That's why the Most High said to go to war with Benjamin. Let me go to Sodom. Come on now. Okay, it's only mentioned 2 times. Okay. So Benjamin, it was Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin that, gang raped this girl. And the old man in the house said, you can take my daughter, she's a virgin, and you can violate her. And the word there was humble, which is the Hebrew word ainah, which means to take by force. Okay, let's come on.
Shalom, Shalom Yasharallah. This is the Bishop Teacher Sako Run.
That happen.
All right, from the Great Millstone.
Stop that. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. I got a bunch of tabs open. But look at these women, man. Look at that. These are not wigs. These are not wigs. Look at the legs. Look at them. You gonna say no to any of these women right here? And they're all surrounding Jake. Jake has come. This is a sign. Esau knows it, man. You know that you lost your kingdom when your woman, you and your kingdom, and your woman is not with you. She's with the enemy. And they did that in slavery, man. They did that back in slavery. The woman, when the man slave would go out, the mistress would lay with the men, the black men, the Israelites. So they had babies. Now, if the baby came out dark, they would kill the slave that did it. But sometimes the baby would come out light, and the father, the master, would think that that's his son and raise him up. So a lot of these Jakes or these Edomites in slavery were actually Jake. Look at this. You gonna say no to that? You gonna say no to that? And you look at the black woman, man. They look like dudes. They don't dress sexy. Some of them do, but some of them look like monsters, man. Anyway, let me come on back to where was I gonna go? I'm a little all over the place. Let me find I'm all over the place, so bear with me. I haven't really set up nothing. I didn't set up no precepts. But I was looking up the word concubine. Let me do this. Okay, it says Benjamin. So it says Benjamin. It was the Benjaminites. That's why they had that. The Most High said go to war with them. So we had concubines. We had concubines back then. I gave you an example of. Where is it? Come on back here. Okay, 2 Samuel 5 verse 13. So not only are we going to have Israelite women in the kingdom, on this side, we also going to have Israelite women, more than one. And on this side, Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1 on down is going to start on this side, and it's going to finish on the other side. Now, if you go to the IUIC and they find out that you, and they'll ask you, if you don't say nothing, they'll ask you, brother, you have a wife? Well, yeah, I have 2 wives. Well, you got to get rid of one of them, which will cause her to commit adultery. What if you have an Israelite that had 5 women from another Israelite group that's disenchanted with the former Israelite group and get with y'all and bring his wife with him? What you going to say? You got to let go of 4 of them? You're causing them to commit adultery. That shows you that the Most High is not dealing with them. Okay, and David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born to David. So David had sons and daughters of the other nation. What was that? Solomon's son, Rehoboam, his mother was an Ammonite. So the Most High didn't have any problem with that. The Most High had a problem with you marrying them and falling in love with them and taking in their children. When you read, what is that, Nehemiah, when you read it, them taking the children, let me see something. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Like I said, I didn't have anything lined up. So I'm kind of just going with the Spirit. Okay, Nehemiah. Or Ezra. Mixed marriages. I'm going to go right. I don't want to read the all of it. For they have taken of the daughters of them and to their sons, and meaning sons that they had that were heathens. They took a woman of another nation. They took their children and made them an extended family, and fell in love. That's why a concubine is a woman that you just deal with. If you have sons and daughters by that concubine, you had certain women raise her up. When you go back to Abraham laid with a concubine. Jacob had 2 wives and 2 concubines. And the handmaids of Rachel and Leah, them women couldn't say, I don't like Jacob, I don't want to lay with him. They were slaves. They said, you're going to lay with my husband, and whatever comes produced from you having sex with him is my child. So a certain amount of the tribes, mothers, if you want to go back to your father, you know, whatever tribe he from, their mothers were heathen. So does that make you heathen? No. You're an Israelite based upon who your father is. For they have taken of their daughters to them and to their sons, and the holy seed. What's the holy seed? The Israelites have mingled themselves among the peoples of the lands, and the hand of the heads and of the seconds have been first in this trespass, meaning the heads were doing it. And that my hearing this word, I have rent my garment and my upper robe, and plucked out the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat astonished. Because they wasn't supposed to marry them. You could have women of the other nations, and you can have children with them, but they were still concubines. You didn't fall in love with that woman. And those children that was born from that concubine were Israelites. So the children begot status. Give me a second. Let me do something here. Let me do this. Come back to King James. Bear me for a minute. Let me do it this way. Israel took themselves wives of the other nations. Bible. Okay, Ezra's 9. I know I read Ezra. Let me see if I read Ezra 9 and 2. Let's go back to it. Okay, so I read this. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves. Because they were marrying them, they were falling in love with them. They had children that came into the marriage. They would love them. You're my son. No. That wasn't supposed to happen. You're just a concubine. You have sex with the woman. That's a concubine, a maiden. Whatever produced out of that, you separate the child from the mother. You teach them that's a heathen. Your mother's a heathen. But you're an Israelite. She's not an Israelite. I said Nehemiah was actually Ezra. Okay, also in Ezra chapter 10, and Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed and have taken strange wife to increase the trespass. Yeah, because they married them. They fell in love with them. Jacob didn't fall in love with Rachel and Leah's handmaids. Abraham did not fall in love with Hagar because he told Sarah, he said, do what you want with that woman and her son. As she fled into the wilderness, the angel said, no, go back, go back. Just deal with it. Deal with the ass whipping. Ishmael was important, but not Ishmael is important in prophecy, but they're not the chosen people. Through thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. It's talking about Israelites. How do we know that? Because the only people that's going to be blessed in the kingdom are the Israelites. The word blessed means, look at this, 17 verses about intermarriage. Right, do not bound thyself together with unbelievers. And that means hanging out with people that don't. But hey, look, if you ain't supposed to have friends that are atheists or witches or Christians. You're not supposed to have Christian. You're not supposed to go to family reunions with your family. Your only family or your household is your wife and your children. If your mother's there, your mother. That's your household. Ye shall be saved in your house. Deuteronomy 7:3. Furthermore, you shall not intermarry with them. You shall not give your daughters to their. And this is Canaan. Don't even deal with Canaan. Don't take concubines of Canaan. Here it goes, Ezra 9, verse 12. I said Nehemiah, but Ezra. So now do not give your daughters to their sons, nor take their daughters to your sons, and never seek their peace and their prosperity, that you may be strong and eat the good things of the land, and leave it as an inheritance to your sons forever. If you have a woman with another nation, if you have a son or a daughter from another nation, those sons and daughters are Israelites. Your son or your daughter has a higher status over the mother because she's a heathen. It's even in the New Testament. So you can have women of other nations. I'll give you a couple more, maybe one more. What is that? First Kings. If not, it's Second Kings. Let me try Second Kings. 11. Either 1 Kings 11 or 2 Kings 11. Nope, it's 1 Kings 11. King David went off when he married those women of the other nations. It says, but King Solomon loved many. He fell in love with them, strange women, together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women are the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, which is Canaanites, and Hittites, which is Canaanites. Of the nations concerning the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come unto you. And I was talking about the Canaanites. Like I said, you can have the only ones you couldn't have Canaanite uh, concubines with the Canaanites at that time, but you can have um, concubines of Moab, Ammon, and Edom, just for purposes of sex. And whatever came out of that, you having sex, the seed is your seed, not her seed. You can have her put in slavery, but you ain't gonna put your sons in slavery or your daughters in slavery. Let me come on down here. Then did Solomon build a high place for Chemosh, which is the god of the Moabites, because he fell in love with the Moabite woman, and the abomination of Moab, in the hill. I'm not going to read the whole thing. And likewise did he for all his strange wife, which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods. So he's setting up all altars for the god of Edom, which is Quaz. Said the Lord was angry with Solomon. Okay, this is what I want. The 14th verse. The Most High raises adversaries. And Yahweh stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom, just south of Jerusalem. For it came to pass when David was in Edom, meaning the land of Edom. When you go to Amos 9 verse 12, 11, 12 on down, it speaks about possessing Edom. It's talking about the land. We're going to take the people too, but it's talking about the land, meaning we're going to take that land where Edom supposed to live, because they're going to be scattered among Israel to be slaves. And Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom, every male that he can find, because he didn't get all the Edomite males, because Hadad and some other Edomites with him, because he was a king, so he had an entourage with him. They escaped into Egypt. When you open up let me do this. Go back. Let me go to the map of the world. Okay, this is around where that fire took place. There's a couple of blocks from where that fire took place. So let me go to world map. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. I'm sorry. Map of the world. See what happens. the fuck is it? Give me this. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Map. Let me do Israel. Map of Israel. Okay, good. This is all I need. I don't need the whole world. Matter of fact, you know what? Bear with me for a minute, please. Let me open this up a little bit. So this is Edom. Edom is around about here. This is where Jordan, well, that's Jordan. Around about here. So what did they do? Hadad fled into what? Egypt. Which was, how many miles? We're talking maybe 150 miles, which wasn't too far. 200 miles. They fled into Egypt. So you can get an idea. And the Lord stirred up the Edom and Joab and slain after he had smitten every male in Edom. At that time, you had Edomites that were in Babylon, that were going up into Europe and the Mount Seir, that area. Where did Alexander come out of? He came out of Macedon with his father. That's right here. Give me a second. That's Macedonia. So how did Edom start over here and wind up here? Then from here, they were here because they urged on the Babylonians to destroy the temple and kill the Israelites, and they were killing the Israelites. So Edom wasn't in their land. They scattered too. Then he went from here with the Greeks. Give me a second. Okay, this is Macedonia. They went further up, took over Rome, took Jerusalem. That's part of the Roman Empire. That's part of the Roman Empire. So it said to kill every male, right? And it didn't mention women, because they took the women until he had cut off every male in Edom. Every male that Hadad fled, and certain Edomites and his father's servants, Hadad being yet a little child. So they only killed the males of, specifically the males of Edom. What did they do with the women of Edom? They took them. They took them. Give you another example, then I'm gonna close. And that was a spoil, a booty. Numbers 31. So you can have women at other nations, man. And they coming to you anyway. They want to get with you anyway. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. It says, and the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives, which they were going off, and their little ones, their children, and took the spoil of all their cattle. And this is when Balaam got put to death. And all their Balaam the prophet that came to Balak, Balak the Moabite king, and all their flocks and all their goods. Right, you took what they had. And they burnt the cities therein, dwelt all the goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil and the prey, both of the men and the beasts. And the spoil, and Moses and Eleazar the priests, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, unto the camp of the plain of Moab, because they were north of Moab, which are by Jordan, near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was mad or wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands and over hundreds, which came from the battle. Because they were ordered to kill the men, kill all the men. And Moses said unto them, have ye saved all the women alive? Because they already killed the men, just like Joab killed all the Edomite men, not the women. Because they took the women to themselves. That's why we look so different. An Israelite can look like anybody on the planet Earth. Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against Yahweh in the matter of Peor, and their Baal Peor is a god that you have sex. You have sex in the name of Baal Peor. That's in Numbers 8, if I'm not mistaken, because the Israelite man was having sex with a woman of Baal Peor, and it was either, I believe it was Eleazar that took the javelin and shoved it through his back and killed both of them, not because he was having sex with the woman, because he was having sex with the woman in the name of Baal Peor. To appease Baal Peor, you got to have sex in the name of that god. That's why the guy was killed. And there was a plague among the congregation of Yahweh, Israelites. Most High cursed us. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones. The grown men they would put to death. The grown women that were married were put to death. The male boys were put to death. It says, now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with them, having sex. But all the women children, the girls, that have not known a man, virgins by swallow, by lying with them, keep alive for yourselves. So that was part of the spoils. If there was a little 9-year-old girl, they wouldn't touch her. They would wait until she developed, 3 years or whatever, 3-4 years. And she would be, groomed for this particular man. So you had some men that had 20 women among this other nation, the Midianites. Some of them were maybe 12, some of them were 11. So they would wait until they matured, and then they would just pop them, whether they liked it or not. So let me come back to the word concubine. There was a movie that they made a remake of it, but the original movie came out in, I believe, '92, called A Handmaid's Tale. If you can get a hold of that movie, watch that movie, the original one, because they were doing things based upon the scriptures. Let me see. Where was I going to go? Oh yeah, concubine. 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 So are we going to have women of the other nations? Yes, we are. They're going to be concubines. Are we going to have children with them? We had children with them on this side. I just wanted to go to the word paramour. Paramour. I'm look it up in a regular the dictionary. I'm gonna go to Google actually. Bear with me for a minute, please. I want to take the word paramour. Definition: a lover, especially the illicit partner of a married person. That's not what I want. What is a paramour in a relationship? Plural. Paramour is Britannia Dictionary. Paramour, a person with whom someone is having a romantic or sexual relationship, and especially a secret or improper relationships. Mm, not really. Paramour is just a concubine, a woman that you dealt with that's not your wife, of a lower status. And we did it in the open. What is the true? Let's see what this says. What is the true definition? What is the true definition of paramour? Since amour meant through love, right? Amour, right? Amour meaning love. It implies a relationship based solely on love or sex, often physical love, rather than on social custom or ceremony. You didn't have to get married with them. So today it tends to refer to the lover of a married man or woman, but may be used for any lover who isn't obeying the social rules. That's half of it. Let's go to concubine. Let's go to concubine. Concubine definition. Concubine is an interpersonal and sexual relationship between two people in which the couple does not want or cannot enter into a full marriage. Right. A woman of another nation is your concubine. Concubinage and marriage are often regarded as similar but mutually exclusive. And I guess this is supposed to be Hagar and made her an Edomite. Everybody's an Edomite. Let me see something. Polygamous. In a polygamous society, a woman who lives with a man but has lower status than his wife or wives. Archaic, meaning old. Let's see what the Cambridge Dictionary says. Then I'm going to close it. So in the kingdom, we're going to have many wives and many concubines. Concubine, a woman who in some societies live and have sex with a man she is not married to and have a lower social rank than his wife or wives. And this is coming out of the Cambridge, so this is coming out of the Cambridge Dictionary. This American dictionaries is crap. He had to go all the way to England to get the right. Let me read that again, then I'm going to close. Concubine, a woman who, in some societies, legally you can't do that in America because this is Babylon the Great, the land of confusion. But a man can marry a man. But if you got 3 wives, you can get locked up for it. That's why this place is called the land of confusion. Or you can marry animals now. Lives and has sex with a man she is not married to, ceremonially, to, and has a lower social rank than his wife or wives. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.